tonight is August 24 or already 25 if you're watching me from East Coast. So today we're talking about the main political events of this week and this day, and we're going to discuss it. We're going to read some analytics. So watch me, like my stream, and subscribe my channel. Also, you can um, ask your questions in the chat here in YouTube. So we're gonna talk, and let's go. So this week was really like historical week in our history, because it started with a summit in Washington D.C. where President Trump hosted European leaders and President Zelensky of Ukraine, and we were talking about peace in Ukraine. And this is very memorable event, because it was first time since White House was built when it was so many foreign leaders present in the White House. And President Trump told us about this. And it was a lot of talks, and we decided to provide some, security guarantees for Ukraine. And President Trump told us that Putin agreed for these guarantees, and these guarantees supposed to be like Article 5 like guarantees, but we don't really know. And consultations in the group, in professional and expert groups, including national security advisors of European countries and United States. It was Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, and his second seat is national security advisor in White House. So it was few meetings in Europe this week after this big summit, and we were working on these security guarantees for Ukraine to provide. And during this week also it was a lot of political events and statements from different kind of leaders in Europe, and from Vladimir Zelensky, President of Ukraine. But President Zelensky doesn't believe his meeting with Putin really possible, and he thinks it's more possible what President Trump supposed to present at this meeting, because trilateral meeting is more productive and effective, and without President Trump it may not work. So this is what main result of this summit: a lot of talks and almost no actions. But it's really good what we at least start talking about this. At the same time, Russian foreign minister, translating Putin's word, start laughing and joking and stuff like this, like we always do. And he started to tell about some conditions what unacceptable for Ukraine and for Ukrainian security. So it was really weird. After he was talking about Putin not gonna meet with Zelensky without Trump also. So something happening. Hi Caleb, hi guys. Nice to see you here. Let's talk, ask your question, and give me your likes. So the situation is evolving, and by the end of the week, Vice President J.D. Vance, he gave big interview on media, and he's talking about something, really weird for me, because it looks like he doesn't know what's happening around. He said what Russia gave like big concessions about their position, but it's really not, because all concessions they give, Ukraine got with their weapons fighting on the battlefield, but not because J.D. Vance or somebody else from American administration was negotiating with Putin. So also President Trump showed his picture with Putin in airport in Anchorage, and told what Putin possibly may come to United States for this championship, football championship next year. And it also looks really weird. And when journalists ask him the question about, sanctions or something to push Putin toward the peace, he said what he may think about this. So he doesn't have no decision, or he gonna just leave this peace process, and Europe gonna deal with it by themselves. And it's also really weird. We don't know what's happening, but it's only good news in this direction was today, and it was news what United States approved supply 3,350 cruise missiles to Ukraine, and this is first time in history when United States ready to sell some weapons, this kind of weapons, offensive weapon. It's not something defensive. It's real offensive weapons. Queen Beatty, hi, give me a like and subscribe my channel. So it's something moving, but it looks like it's not moving towards peace. It looks like it's moving toward the war. So, and this is interesting, and we're gonna watch how President Trump will react on this situation, because it's a really breathtaking situation happening in the world right now. Because this week, next week, we're gonna see where we go, and this is really gonna decide the fate of the world. If we're gonna stay in the war, and war can be bigger, because we're watching what Putin is getting ready to the war. He is mobilizing a lot of people in their army. He is putting the weapons in Belarus on the border of NATO by Poland and Baltic countries. So he is getting prepared actually to the war with NATO already, not only with Ukraine. And people feel insecure, and it's really awful. And President Trump looks like he cannot stop it, and it's only way to stop, to fight. So Ukraine supposed to fight. Ukraine supposed to fight. It means United States supposed to provide enough offensive weapon Ukraine be able to fight. And today is Day of Independence of Ukraine, and now exactly at this historical moment they fighting for their independence, and it's already fourth Independence Day during this war, and they fight, and they fight. They don't surrender, and we're not gonna surrender. So we are heroes. We have to say our congratulations about their Independence Day. So this is what's happening with this peace process, which President Trump headed up. And yes, because he really wants to stop the war, he's concerned about a lot of people who's dying every day, every week. And also he's thinking about this Nobel Prize, but he already deserved Nobel Prize. He did a lot for peace. But this situation is really hard situation, because a lot of countries involved, all European countries involved, also behind the Russia's back is China, it's North Korea, it's aggressive country, is our potential enemies, and it's not easy situation to just decide like this here on the table. It's not going to work like this. But anyway, we have to wish to President Trump the best luck he can have at this situation, because this war can explode whole world around us, and we have to be very careful. Hi Jungle, what's up? I'm good, how are you? Give me a like and subscribe my channel, and ask your questions, guys. Ask your questions. We're talking about this week, the main events of this week, what's happening. We're trying to see the bigger picture, what's happening around. So first situation was connected with peace process in Ukraine, which is really important for us. Next situation, what's happening here inside the United States, it's gerrymandering process or redistricting. And first step was from Texas. Texas government way passes with a new redistricting map, and now Republicans got or we're gonna get on the next election, we're gonna get 5 more seats in the House of United States in Washington, and we respond on this action. California, where I am living, California Governor Newsom is going to make redistricting here too, so we're gonna do gerrymandering here too. But we did it not long ago, and it's not how tradition is, because usually it happens on like 2000, 2010, 2020. So next time it's supposed to be 2030, and it's connected to census. But this time we decided don't wait until 2030, and we decided to change with districts, election districts before, because midterm election are coming, and we want to get more seats in the House. And it's first time, I guess, for a long period of time, when Democrats in risk what we're not going to have majority in the House. You know, usually it happens when first part of presidential term, uh, acting president has majority in the House, and the second part of his term, usually it has opposition has majority in the House. But this time it looks like President Trump will keep majority, so Republicans will keep majority in the House, and it will lead to President Trump act how he acts and pass all bills he needs. No, it's not going to be any kind of opposition or resistance in the House and in the United States Senate. So it's really interesting situation, but it's 1 more year and 2 months before these midterm elections, and we're going to see what's going to happen. It's going to be big political fight, you know, and it's going to be really interesting. We have to watch how it's going to happen, and it's only the first 2 states which are making this gerrymandering, and I'm sure another states will follow their example, and we're also going to start this process, and we're going to see how the picture going to change in action, in motion. It's nothing a picture, everything a movie, so it's interesting, and we're expecting very interesting and very bright political season in the United States. Like, you know, President Trump, he's always doing show from everything. Every day is supposed to be some show, and this is what we're going to talk about also today, because it's few more very important political events happened this week, and we're going to have consequences, long-term consequences, so we have to talk about it. Patrick Kruger, your country once fight Nazis. NATO, you want to be one. I don't know, Patrick, what you say. My country once fought Nazis. NATO, you want to be one. What do you mean? All countries were fighting against Nazis. All countries, you know, except Japan and Italy. The rest of them were fighting against Nazis. Yeah, so next big political topic of the week, what pretended to be big but did not become, yeah, really. It's, you know, this Department of Justice in Miami, Patrick, in Miami. I just ethnically a little bit different. So another thing, what's happening, it's, you know, this Department of Justice released transcript of Ghislaine Maxwell interview, and it was nothing in it, nothing really interesting. And right after this, people start talking about she was lying, or maybe they have a deal behind the situation because she wants to be pardoned by President Trump, or maybe even already asked for this, and that's why she is not talking anything bad about President Trump. We don't know what's happening, but we're going to know really soon because you know, political season is starting in September. It's like a weekend or maybe 10 days, and this scandal gonna burn up again, and President Trump will you know, spin it up, and we're gonna see, because a lot of people expecting new data from this Jeffrey Epstein case, because it's, I don't know, it's so boring for people, and it's because it was one of election promises of President Trump. Uh, he's supposed to do something with it, supposed to give some explanation, and I was talking about this already. I think it's something else. It's not about this you know, criminal case, because I think we're trying to hide some different part of the story, because we don't actually know who this Jeffrey Epstein really was, where he got his money from. And a lot of, you know, sources, we have, you know, this kind of conspiracy theories, but he was a man who working for Israel secret services, for Mossad, and even he was collaborating, you know, with Russians. He was connected with former Russian Ministry of Defense with I don't remember the name of this guy, but it was during Soviet Union, so he has really good connections, and he was linked with Soviet government, which you know it's really weird, and people suspect what he was connected with FSB or FSB, with Russian security agencies. So he was like a triple agent because he was collaborating with CIA too, with Mossad and with Russians. And this money was from over because he provided some political influence in the United States because he was connected with all these people, what we're talking about these files, because we want these names, and he used his knowledge about these people to provide their influence by the order of foreign um, governments or foreign secret services. So this is why maybe President Trump doesn't want to release his documents. And this is my idea. I don't know, maybe I'm not right, but it looks like, because, you know, actually, what we can expect from President Trump. He's being at this list. It's nobody going to be surprised, I want to say. Of course, it's going to be, rude, but nobody gonna be surprised if he's there, but he's not. And a lot of people talking what he is not on this list. He didn't, he wasn't at this, close relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, we were talking sometime, but it wasn't so deep. So, hi, Mr. High Tech, are you on Epstein list? No, I'm not, Mr. Parlad. No, I'm too young for this. I'm joking. All these people who in the list, they way over 60 years old now. President Trump is 79. I don't know how old was Epstein, but they were collaborating with, Soviet Union. Soviet Union died 30 years ago, 35 years ago, a long time ago. It's whole generation passed, but we're still talking about this Epstein case and about this list. So yeah, and I guess with Ghislaine Maxwell, she could be pardoned because what reason to keep her in the jail? It's so many years passed, and I don't understand her role, what she really was doing over there. So it's really interesting situation. But I think the deepest thing, the most interesting, if this Jeffrey Epstein was working on Soviet secret services or on Israel secret services. This is what they maybe wanna to hide, because I guess some people was involved also, and they don't wanna release the names of people who were or who are agents of these services, because it's very sensitive information. They just don't want to talk about this, and it's really understandable. I can understand it. So, but sooner or longer, we're gonna know about this everything, because they can't hide it forever. This is definitely, if President Trump will not release it, next president will release it, and we're gonna know. Donald Trump is on. No, he is not. Tom, no, he is not. I haven't heard you say one to think yet. Patrick, you will see. I don't know, I'm guessing, Patrick. Tom, Donald Trump is not on Epstein list. No, he's not. If he was there, Democrats were released it long time ago, because we used everything and anything to, stop him from election. Don't let him to be a president. Where you saw all these, suitcases, all this. We did everything. Right? Because he tells you, I don't know. I said, I'm telling you, I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm listening what's people talking around on the bus stop, and I'm telling you what I hear. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Knows only, government officials. They know. But they don't have right to tell us about this, because it's classified or something. These documents are really sensitive, and that's why we're keeping them secret, because we're sensitive, because they can affect people's lives. That's why. It's not about, victims of these crimes or with politicians who might be maybe involved in this situation. It's about another people, guys. We have to be careful with this. What you hear is what we want you to hear. This guy says he was born in Miami. Does it sound like Miami? Yes, Miami is 900,000 Russian people lives, you know. It's 4.5 million population and its quarter is Russian-speaking people. It's a lot of Russian-speaking, like New York, over 2 million Russian-speaking people. Mostly, you know, ethnically Jewish people, stuff like this. Yes, Patrick. And you have German name, Kruger. So, your ethnicity also have European roots. Okay, guys, ask more questions. And another, element was a lie. Oh, you have bad perception. This is what I want to say. You have bad perception. It's, you know, a big nation, like over 3 million people all over the world, and we're all different. Like Americans also. Yeah, what's your name? My name is Toly. You can read. You watching me? Okay, guys. Another thing what I want to talk about is, you know, with federal takeover in Washington D.C. and it was really successful, as we see. President Trump got results what he wanted to get, and now he wanna spread this experience to our cities. We start talking about this situation in Chicago now, and where administration, where authorities, governor and mayor, they you know don't want it happen. They trying to protest about this. And today, President Trump was fighting with, you know, with governor of Maryland because of Baltimore. And Baltimore is really nice city. You know, I was talking here. I have a vacation house in Virginia, and you know I love this Baltimore because you know this city like with history, but it's really look half abandoned and it's really criminal, and it was a lot of stuff happening over and last term of President Trump. So it was between 2016 and 2020 already, like 5 or 6 years ago. He visited this place about corruption in you know we were talking what mayor was corrupted. They built 2 stadiums and it was something like big money involved in this situation. No, Quake, I don't support racism. I hate racism. I hate racism. Yeah, what? So my name is Toly, Patrick, I told you. This country is a democracy and that's something guys like you hate. No, well, it's my country like it's yours country. It's our country. That's why we're talking here. I'm Toly. You can read, I told you. So I'm talking about what's happening in Baltimore, and it's really a nice historical place. You know, not much this kind of cities in the United States, and it was a lot of theaters and culture over there in 19th century, and it was, you know, the greatest American writers and people like this were living there in 19th century. It has a great museum, great architecture, and yes, it has a huge crime rate, and it's so really sad. And it's only you know like maybe less than 50 miles from White House, uh, so it's like actually suburb of Washington D.C. And 6 or 7 years passed already after previous President Trump term, and nothing changed in Baltimore. He was fighting, he was arguing over there last time with mayor, with all this situation. He came over there and he was trying to again turn back the law and order in Baltimore, but he wasn't successful with that time. But this time it started again. They arguing again, and I hope this time he is going to be more successful. And this place really need, you know, federal takeover. And you know, Pentagon today is talking about military deployment to Chicago, and this is what's supposed to happen with Baltimore, because you know it's like a pearl city. It's very beautiful and nice place with very good old tradition, and it's really nice, and it's supposed to be safe because it's huge tourist attraction, and it's piece of American culture and American history. This place cannot be, abandoned like it is now, and it's supposed to be fixed, and it's gonna be one of the best places in the United States to spend vacation or, something romantic with your sweetheart. Instead of going like to Las Vegas, you may go to places like this. My religion is not stolen. Well, what you talking about, my religion? Yeah, Patrick, you have a lot of hate. This is what we call racism. So this is what's happening on this week, and we expect next week to also gonna be really politically hot because we expect a lot of also historical political events because how gonna war with Ukrainian war, what's gonna happen? It's gonna be decided next week, and Putin gonna show what he's really gonna do, and if he's not gonna go to peace deal, it means we're gonna be escalate the war in Ukraine, and it's gonna be more people dying, and it's really serious. So we have to wait and watch. And this is all what I wanted to tell you today, guys. It's Sunday night. Everyone wanna go sleep. So, and thank you all watching my show. And I'm just starting my channel, and it's really tough. And Patrick, thank you for your questions. Doesn't matter how we are. It's really nice to see you here. No, I'm not. I don't protect anybody. I'm just telling news. Guys, I'm just telling news. I'm not producing them. I'm just reading them. This is what people say. This is what President Trump says. I just telling you. I'm just trying to tell you something and a little bit opinion and a little bit of, rumors circulating around the situation. This is what people talk about. Okay, guys, thank you very much. See you tomorrow. We're gonna discuss. It's gonna be next day and next political events. It's like big show happening around us. So have a good night and thank you very much. See you tomorrow.